right, got it that time. We got it. All right, everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to the Phrod Pod. Myself and my father, Shimp. Shimp, how we doing?
Oh, yeah, we doing real good up here in northern Nevada. We're ready to get to it this morning, huh?
I like that. Usually we release these on Saturdays, but due to happenstance, that didn't happen this week. So hey, we're coming to you early Sunday morning. All right, that's what we're doing. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so last week was fantastic. It was great. I went 10-2 on the plays, right, including the gunslinger and the stinker. Now I gave
Right.
out 10 plays total though, and went 9-1. 9-1, baby. I was on fire. You went 3-0 on your sizzling.
Funny, kicked it up a notch. I've been going 2-1 forever and a day, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Now it's funny enough though. Remember during the show here, I was just asking for your leans on the games we were taking.
Right,
Now,
right.
it's a good thing you're only counting for your sizzling, because on your leans you went 1-6. So, but that doesn't matter
Yeah,
because that you were just giving your
yeah.
lean. That's not what your plays were. So it's not that big of a
No,
deal. Um,
yeah, that's funny. I think that,
yeah. So like I
yeah,
said, I went 90% 9-1 for my picks. I gave out 10-2 on the show. Shimp
right.
3-0 on the sizzling. So if anybody was listening to this and actually took our plays, you were, what is that? That's 12-1. If you combine your sizzling and my plays, that's 12-1. That's making money, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's plus
That's
11
bank. That's
units.
banking that lettuce, baby.
Banking it. And some of the plays I gave out were plus numbers too. They weren't all like minus numbers.
Right,
So that's
right.
what's up, man. That's fantastic. So I guess the goal is to do that again, huh?
Yes, it would be the goal.
That would be the goal.
That would be the goal. Yes, it would.
So there's a lot of plays out there today for this Sunday NFL Week 12. But I did limit myself to just picking 4 games, and I kind of stayed away from the obvious ones. Like I didn't take Detroit game, I didn't take the Baltimore game. Like I stayed away from some of those, and I just try to handicap some sharp plays, which I'm realizing right now I might add one as we're going through here because I really like it. And I was looking at it this morning, but we'll get there when we get there, huh? Okay,
Right.
so
Absolutely.
let's go ahead and start this thing off. First game I want to talk about, Tampa Bay is going to the New York Giants up in Rutherford, New York, right? Uh, tell you what,
Yeah, it's gonna be rougher for it, all right.
I'll tell you what, you got Maker Mayfield coming in, baby. Maker, God, he's the
Yeah,
best. Um,
yeah, you got DeVito throwing the rock for the Giants this week. This week they released Danny Dimes.
yeah, you got Tommy coming in with the Sunday gravy. All right,
Yeah, that's right. Forget about it, huh?
forget about it. Now,
No, I really like the kid. I mean, he
you
put
do
a spark in the team the last time he was playing. So,
true.
you know,
He
I'm
did.
telling you,
He did. And his is it his manager or his agent, whatever, got all that shine with the fedora on the sideline, dressed like a mobster and shit.
something like that, something like
He
that.
was a
But no,
goofy
I
looking
thought it was
bastard.
great.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like the kid. He brings some energy. He can play.
Well,
He can play.
I was talking to
Um,
our good friend Carlito, also a member
uh-huh.
of the LDRS cast.
Yeah.
He's a Giants fan, and I texted him when Danny Dimes got released, and I was like, "Fuck it, Cowboys should just sign him and play him in Thanksgiving against the Giants." That would be hilarious.
Oh, the turkey bowl.
I mean, we're not trying to win anyways. I mean, we're missing
I
like
know that.
3 or 4 more starters today against Washington. They're just sitting them. They're not playing. They're hurt.
Well, yeah, there's yeah, yeah.
Gentry,
They're hurt,
baby.
all right.
Jerry Jones is making sure Gentry ends up on the Dallas Cowboys next season after the draft, and I love it. Running back from Boise State.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So Tampa at the Giants. Tampa's ATS this season is 6-4, so they're 2 above 500. That's a good number. Now the Giants are abysmal against the spread this season, 2-7-1. Bad, bad football team.
Yeah, yeah,
Over
that's
under.
bad.
Tampa's had 7 overs to 3 unders, and New York is reverse, 3-7. So they're polar opposite.
Right.
Now Tampa
Mirror
Bay's
images.
on the road record is only 2-4, right? They've also had that losing streak here recently.
Right.
And the Giants at home this season are 0-5. 0-5.
Man.
So bad vibes in New York right now. The whole Danny Dimes thing
Yeah.
is bad
Hey,
vibes.
yeah, on both sides of the river, so to speak.
Exactly. We already discussed that Danny Dimes got released and DeVito's coming in. Um, Baker gets Mike Evans back.
Yes.
So go ahead, tell us what you're looking at here in this game.
Okay, well, let's just start out with the Evans thing. From what I'm understanding, he is suiting up. He's good to go, but I believe he's going to be somewhat limited on snaps. And I think that's more of a control to try to get him through this whole game so he can be available for next week also.
Mm,
But I mean, he's just a real problem for defenses, even in right now in a limited fashion. Uh, this game statistically is just, believe it or not, the Giants are fourth against the pass.
surprisingly.
Surprisingly, I mean, you would think being fourth against the pass might be an advantage, but I don't see that being that way here. The thing that sticks out to me about this game is the third down efficiency of both teams. I mean, Tampa is 50%.
Oh, yeah.
The Giants are at 37, and that probably might be a little lower today with new starting quarterback and whatnot. Injuries. Dexter Lawrence is a little beat up versus the Giants. Evans is coming in a little beat up. So they're relatively healthy. I just think Tampa's going to be just a little too much for the Giants today. That's my take on that game.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then shockingly enough too, the surprisingly I should say, the Giants actually sacked the quarterback too, which is wild stuff. Considering
Right.
you look at their record, usually if you have a team that's that high in sack percentage, leading one of the top teams in the league, the record does not reflect that at all. That just goes to show how bad their offense is. Tampa, you
Yeah.
brought up their problems, right? Well, you have to remember what was it like 4 weeks? They were missing a lot of starters in their secondary early in the year,
Yes.
and they're getting those
Yes.
guys
Yes.
back now. They're getting
I mean,
healthy.
that right there shows up in the stats because they're
Yeah,
30th against the pass.
exactly, exactly.
But that's just really, I think that just reflects those few games where they were basically trotting out their second string secondary.
Now, I agree with you about the Mike Evans pitch count thing, and the sports book actually reflects that because here are my plays today. So I got Tampa -6. I don't. They're going to cover that number in New York. I don't think the DeVito ad is going to be enough to
No.
propel them. So I like Maker giving 6, right? So I'm taking that. I'm also taking Mike Evans anytime touchdown +110. Okay, and his receiving total it's only 3.5. So I'm gonna take the over 3.5 receiving, which is
I
minus
think
it
those
is
are all
148. So
that's all good.
what you can do though, you can actually parlay together that Mike Evans touchdown and that Mike Evans receiving total over to a +233 two-legger. Boom, boom. That's the play, right? Tampa -6, Mike Evans anytime touchdown, Mike Evans receiving total over 3.5 receptions. All he needs is 4 balls caught. 4 balls. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good plus money right
I
there.
like that a lot. Let's move on here. Minnesota at Chicago. Chicago has been on the struggle bus. Um,
Oh
yeah.
man.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Minnesota has let bad teams hang around this season, especially as of late.
Yeah.
Chicago is
And
a mess on offense. Their offensive line's really bad. I mean, Brian Flores is going to have that defense ready for Caleb Williams in Minnesota, right? I know they're in Chicago, but Brian Flores is a hell of a DC. As of this,
yeah.
so this season, Minnesota is 7-3 against the spread, and Chicago is 5-4-1. They both have identical over/under records of 3-7, identical. And Minnesota on the road is 4-1 this year. Chicago is 4-2. Minnesota is a 3.5 point favorite on the road in Chicago with an over/under 39 and the hook. What are you looking at here?
Well, I'll tell you, you kind of hit on it there about the defense of Minnesota being ready for Chicago. Chicago right now, Caleb Williams has got some fundamentals problems.
Mm,
He's holding the ball too long. His footwork is suspect. I know that they're trying to. I believe they're going to try to whittle down the amount of decisions that he has to make so he can get the ball out quicker.
mm,
Like maybe limit the amount of reads they want him to do. But Minnesota is number one against the rush,
mm.
so that's going to limit what Chicago can do on offense, and it puts that ball back into Caleb Williams' hands, which feeds right into Minnesota's game plan on
Yeah.
defense.
Oh yeah.
That's who they want having the ball is Caleb Williams right now. Uh, their third down efficiency is, kind of relatively even. They're both in the 30s, although Minnesota's in the high 30s, I think 39%. But yeah, I think Minnesota's going to manhandle Chicago today. I think Caleb Williams is going to be running for his life. And he may make some really ugly mistakes. I think throwing the ball today. That's what the way I see this game.
I agree. This feels like a trap game. If you're going to take Minnesota, I don't think it's going to be as comfortable as you think it's going to be. That number 3.5, Minnesota's lost what 2 games this entire season, and
Hmm.
they're only getting 3.5 in Chicago. That's a weird number.
Right.
So with that said, I'm staying away from that. I'm not going to lay to 3.5. I'm not going to take the 3.5 either for Chicago. I got two
Oh,
plays here. I got two. I got one that I'm very confident, feels really good. I got Aaron Jones anytime tutty minus 101, almost even money. Okay. And I got Chicago team total under 17.5 against that Brian Flores defense.
I think
Yes.
that's a safe bet.
Yes. So we got two plays there. Chicago team total under 17.5 and Aaron Jones anytime tutty. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's move on here. Ooh, shit. We got, I don't know about you, Dad, but I am a Bo Lever. Bo
Oh yeah.
Nix is going to where I live in Vegas, Las Vegas, baby. Them Raiders. Denver, absolute cover machine. They're a wagon. They're 8-3 on the season against the spread. Las
Wow.
Vegas, ooh, a paltry 4-6. Uh, over unders, Denver 6-5. Raiders surprisingly 7-3. That's because they let teams throw the ball on them a bit there, don't they? Um,
Mhm.
Now,
Yes.
Denver on the road is only 3-3 though. They're not the greatest team on the road. That has a lot to do with who they played with earlier in the season. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, they're still 3-3 on the road. And Raiders are 1-3 at home. So this is ugly. Spread right now. Denver's getting 6 in Las Vegas with an over under of 41.
Right.
Raiders are done. We already know that. They're cooked. Raider season's already over at this point.
Yeah.
Denver is rolling. Bo Nix is playing great. Ever since that game when they had the video of him yelling at Sean Payton on the sideline, they've been playing lights out. Lights out. Defense, everything. I think I don't trust Las Vegas. I don't trust them at all. I just don't. I don't trust them. What do you see in this one?
I'll tell you, well, what I see right here is a dominating Denver defense across the board. One of the biggest things that sticks out is their points allowed are only like 14 and a half. And Las Vegas is, strength is not scoring. So that number really, really sticks out. Okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, and then Denver comes in, their defense comes in sixth against the rush, seventh against the pass, third down efficiencies and 36%. A lot of that has to do with games earlier in the season.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
sometimes the stats can be a little misleading if you don't know what had happened in like maybe the prior 4 or 5 games or whatever the case may be.
True.
But and then Denver comes in pretty much healthy. I mean, Las Vegas is missing their two top backs. Zaire White and Addison are both hurt.
Yeah. Madison.
Yeah, Madison
Yeah.
are both hurt. So I just don't see Las Vegas putting up much of a fight here. I
Yeah.
really don't.
I don't
This
either.
is this, this is a Denver Bronco rodeo
It's a
today.
rodeo, baby.
It's a rodeo, baby, today. Yeah, down there in Vegas.
Yeah. So with this one, um, I was like, okay, I feel like the square play is just to take Denver -6, right? That feels like the even square play. But last week I didn't take a lot of square plays and I was very successful. So I'm going to stick to my methodology from last week. Got
Okay.
two plays for this game. You mentioned it that Raiders letting teams score on them and throw on them, right? So I'm
Yes.
taking Bo Nix over 218.5 pass yards. Okay. -133. And I'm also taking Denver team total over 23.5 points today. Okay.
Yeah,
That's where I'm
I
going.
think that's a good bet.
Yep. So Knicks over 218.5 pass yards and Denver team total over 23.5 -110. I'm feeling pretty spicy. I'm feeling good about this one. All right. Last game I got here, and then we're going to go into the gunslinger, the stinky game, and your sizzling. So
All right.
KC at Carolina. KC's, yeah, I know. Oh yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. Casey's coming off their first loss. They're going to be
Yeah.
pissed. They are not going to be happy. Um,
Nope.
so
Nope.
against the spread this season, though, KC's not good. They're 500. They're 5-5. They're not covering ball games. Um, Carolina is 3-7. Ugh, disgusting. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they're a game worse than the Giants. Wait, no, that's not true because the Giants were 2-7 with a push. Never mind. Take that back. Still bad. Still bad though.
Right.
Over
Right.
unders, KC 500, 5-5. Carolina 7-3 because Carolina won a couple games. They're also allowed teams to score on them because they're not blowing anybody out of
Right.
the water.
Right.
Carolina, they kind of turned it on after their owner ran that. Was it a concert? I think at their stadium for the hurricane relief. Since they've
Yeah.
done
Something
that,
like that.
they've been kind of putting stuff together. It's almost like karma's real, and the universe
Right.
is rewarding him for. They raised like $24 million for those people. Dad, 24 mil.
That's a good chunk of change.
Now, if he had any gumption, he would have matched it. He's worth a couple billion. He could have matched it,
R-
but whatever.
Right.
It's his money. Whatever. Um,
Yeah.
so Casey coming off that loss, they're gonna come on. They're gonna be furious. Carolina's coming off by Bryce Young still under center. I've been reading a lot of stuff online here. A lot of people
Yeah.
think they're big braining this. And here, let me go. I'm gonna pull it up right now. And it has shifted. Never mind. Earlier in
Hmm.
the week, there was a lot of money on Carolina to cover. There was a lot. That has shifted.
I'll
Now
be.
never mind. KC 77% of the money right now to cover. So that has skyrocketed the other direction. I'm also
Right.
going to I'll take the doing something a little different here. I'm not going to take the
Okay.
minus 11. So I'm going to take the alt spread. Went on the app, went on the game, and I hit that little slider. And I took KC minus 13.5 for plus 108. I like
Woo.
them winning by 2 touchdowns and 2 points right there. So I got them
I
at
don't think that's
minus.
unreal. I don't think. Yeah. I don't think that's unrealistic.
I think they're
I
going to
really
come out
don't.
mad after
You know.
last week. Mad. So I like
Yeah.
KC alt spread minus 13.5 or plus 108. Then I also got Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 pass touchdowns minus 148.
Also good money.
It feels pretty safe to me.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So let me go ahead and throw up my card here. So that way there's a visual for the people. All right, I got my card up on the screen now. All right, so stinky game. We got to pick a stinky game every week, and it was my job to pick the stinkiers. So I got the stinky
Okay.
game right here. And it's actually, I'll be honest with you, I kind of had a hard time with the stinky games because I was like, damn, I really like all these games, man. There's a lot of plays I could do. So I kind of
Yeah.
just went with what I don't care to watch, and that's New England at Miami. I don't care.
That's
So
exactly,
yeah,
exactly what I would call the stinker game this week right
I
there.
just don't
It
care.
it is.
I
No,
don't.
yeah.
Because Miami's getting 7 at home. Under over's 46. I mean,
Oh,
I didn't even dig
yeah.
into this and start looking through numbers or props or nothing. I'm just going to take Miami minus 7 because they're at home. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the stinker game.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it, you know?
Okay, good. I'm glad you looked it up. So, what do you see there?
Uh, you know, Miami right now, I think is starting to find themselves too. Has gotten, he's got a few games under his belt now. So he's clicking. The offense is starting to really start to light it up a little bit, and the defense has actually gotten a little more solid over the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I will give Drake May some credit. He's starting to loosen up a little bit and sling the ball and all that kind of stuff. But in my opinion, the Dolphins have just too much firepower, and their defense, I think, is playing up to par now. So I just don't see New England having really much of a chance in this game. I really don't.
I mean,
I mean,
yeah.
to say it the way it is.
Miami's minus 7 and it's minus 125. You gotta pay a 25-cent vig on that to take them at 7.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that just proves the point, really,
Yeah.
right there.
Um, you know, there was another game I was looking at, and I actually thought it might be Dallas and Washington. To be honest with you, it'd be kind of a stinker that I don't really care about, even though I'm a
Yeah.
Cowboys fan. There is
Right.
something I saw here though. I'm gonna add this to my card right now. This is off the hip. Didn't really plan this out, but I'm looking at this number and I'm like, fuck, that seems doable. I'm gonna take Washington Commanders over 27.5 team total because Cowboys are sitting a
Mhm.
bunch of defenders. They are bad at football right now. I'm gonna add that one to my
Yeah,
card. So boom, that goes up. So
yeah.
now I have what 3, 5, 7. No, I have 10 plays again. Okay. All right. Now you have to decide the gunslinger.
Well, originally at the after last week concluded, and I looked at the schedule coming up there on Monday or so, I thought it would be the Packers and 49ers. But here's the problem with that.
Purdy
The Brock Purdy is not playing this week.
shoulder.
They're going with a backup quarterback, which his name's escaping me right here at the moment.
It's a who cares?
Yeah, so I'm going to switch gears and I'm calling the Cardinals Seahawks as my gunslinger game.
That was what I would have chose too.
I really think because I mean Seattle throws the rock no matter who they're playing. They're
Yeah.
number one passing team in the league as far as how many attempts they make and how many
Mm-hmm.
times they throw the ball. And I think the Cardinals are playing good ball. They're in first place right now. This is an important game for both teams.
Very important.
So I think this is going to be a shootout. When you look down at the breakdown of their stats, they're evenly matched in pretty much everything except for pass yards a game. That's
Okay.
where Seattle really comes out and says that. But then on the other hand, the Cardinals are more of a rushing team. They're like fifth in rushing.
Yeah.
So this is going to be, a yin and yang game. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Um, it's hard to really pick this one as far as where or who or what is going to actually happen. But I think the Seahawks may pull this out,
Okay.
and I
All right.
and I mean pull it out. I think it's going to be close.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be close, but I think that Seattle is going to pull it out.
Okay. So you pull it out. So you're thinking like field goal,
Yeah,
maybe
I'm
4.
thinking something like that last minute drive.
Yeah.
One big play, and then it's going to happen.
Right. Like their last play of the game, Seattle's down by 4, so they have to score a touchdown, not a field goal kind of game, right?
That kind of thing. That's what
Okay.
I'm seeing in this game.
Um,
Because the X factor there is Kyler Murray running wild. You would think,
his
okay,
little wags, you better watch out.
yeah, you got to watch out for that. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to be a tit for tat game, close, and at the end, I think Seattle is going to do the same thing they did last week.
Okay. I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna take the over.
Oh yeah, I
Over
think so.
over 47. This is like a 26-24 game. I'm gonna
Hmm.
take the over there. Uh, I really like Arizona a lot. I think they're gonna win that division with all the
Right?
trouble in Frisco right now. And the Rams are getting hot, but they also lost last week, so that kind of puts them
Yeah.
behind the 8 ball. Seattle did win
Right.
last week, but against San Francisco, mind you. But Seattle, it's like they forgot they have Kenneth Walker. It's amazing.
I,
It's amazing. They forgot he's
yeah,
there. It's crazy.
I was thinking that as I was speaking.
Yeah, it's wild. He's so good at football.
Yeah.
Give him the rock.
Well, see,
And
that's where some teams when they find something they do really well. I mean, what they do is they stick with it, right?
mm-hmm,
Well,
mm-hmm.
Seattle's been throwing the ball like crazy. They got
Yeah.
some receivers down there, and so they're using them. So they have. He's disappeared in the game plans. Well, it's just yeah. There's other things that have happened in the league that for other teams have done the same thing.
Yeah, it's like they just disappear in the play calling. So
Yes.
I agree with you. I think there's gonna be a lot of throwing. Arizona, but Arizona can run the ball so well with Connor, Benson, and Kyler. McBride is a hell of a tight end. Holy shit!
Oh yeah. He's definitely arrived this year.
And I like Marvin Harrison Jr. to go off a bit here. Let me see what his anytime touchdown is. That might be something to look at. Let's take a look. I'm opening it up right now. Let's go to touchdown scores. Marvin Harrison Jr. anytime is plus. I'm adding that too. I got 2 plays on that one. I got the over 47, and I got Marvin Harrison Jr. anytime touchdown plus 125. That's what we're doing.
All right.
Harrison Jr. TD baby. Was that plus 125? All right. Well, shit. We flew through that one, huh?
Oh yeah.
So next week is going to be great. Next week is fantastic. We got 2 shows next week. We have just the Thanksgiving gobble special for those 3 games. And we're going to have a whole nother episode just for the Sunday slate because there's no bye weeks next week. So we got
Right.
all 32 teams playing. This week we had 6 teams on bye. And then also the following week, week 14, we're going to have another 6 teams on bye. So we're going to do a double up next week. All right.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be great.
It's going to be fantastic.
Absolutely.
I'm looking up everything here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to run through my card real fast. We got Two-legger, Mike Evans over 3.5 receptions. Mike Evans anytime touchdown plus 233. Tampa -6. We got Chicago total under 17.5. Aaron Jones anytime touchdown. Bo Nix over 218.5 pass yards. Denver team total over 23.5. KC alt spread -13.5. Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Stinker, Miami -7. Gunslinger over 47. Harrison Jr. anytime tutty. Now, we got to do one more thing. We got to get sizzling.
Got to get sizzling, baby.
Get sizzling, baby. All right, so let's go ahead and let's hand the mic over here to Papa Shimp. All right, Shimp, walk us through your sizzling.
All right. All right. Well, yeah, my first one, I'm liking Detroit giving up 7 at Indianapolis. Detroit's just a juggernaut right now. I mean, every statistical category is, so much in the favor of Detroit. The only thing I would be worried about is a slight letdown, but I don't think Dan Campbell will let that happen. This team is on a mission right now.
Mhm.
They really are. And this is the time of year to be on a mission.
Yes.
We're coming down to the end of the season. They know where they want to go. They know where they went last year. That wasn't far enough.
Right.
So I really like them on the road, Indy, and giving up 7. I think it's a good bet.
Okay. Love it. Love it. We got Detroit and Indy -7. All right, what we got next?
All right. I like the Philadelphia Eagles giving up 3 at the Rams.
Boom.
Okay. I think this is going to come down to running the football.
Okay.
And I think right now Philadelphia is running the rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drug
I
test
really,
Saquon.
and their defense is playing solid defense right now.
Yeah.
I just think the Philly is going to run the rock again. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm liking Philly giving up 3 at the Rams.
Philly giving 3 on the road in LA. That's hot. That's sizzling, baby.
Yes, sir. That's
All right.
sizzling now.
We're sizzling now. All right. Give her your third leg here.
All right, here we go. I like the Ravens giving up 2.5 at the Chargers.
2.5.
Now, I almost gave something up on this when we were talking earlier when you talked about Kenneth Walker disappearing.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what happened last week with the Ravens.
Yeah.
On their most
Henry.
important drive of the game, they left Henry on the bench.
Yep.
It ain't going to happen this week.
No.
I could tell you that.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
They are going to be on a mission. I mean, there's going to be so many business decisions made this week, they're going to need extra staff. Okay. All right.
All right.
So I like the Ravens giving up 2.5 at the Chargers.
Okay, we got the Ravens at Chargers -2.5. So to recap that, our sizzling, we got Detroit -7, Philadelphia -3, Ravens -2, and the hook. All 3 legs are on the road. That's sizzling, baby. All right, we got it all locked in then. I got it put up.
All right.
Next week, I'm going to go ahead and advance. I'm going to get your sizzling from me, and I'll create a parlay card I can throw on the screen for the people, too. We'll do
All
that
right.
next
Sounds
week.
good.
Yeah, we'll do that next time. But
Yeah.
obviously, shit, I should make you do a sizzling for Thanksgiving and for the weekend slate. We're gonna double up on the bacon next week, folks. Doubling up.
That's right.
Make sure
We're
that
gonna throw
cholesterol
down the
gets
bacon
nice
next
and
week.
high. Yes. All right, everyone. Well, that's gonna do it for week 12. We kept that one pretty tight. We went like 30 minutes. That's not bad.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, kept it nice and tight. We didn't fuck around too much, right?
Right.
All right, Shimp. Love you, and I'll see you soon.
You too, son. Peace out.
Deuce.